गांव के लोगों ने 15 करोड़ रुपए कंट्रीब्यूशन किया। इसका ये रीज़न था कि लोगों को जो काम हुआ था उसके रिजल्ट्स पता थे, और आर्ट ऑफ लिविंग की काम करने की जो तरीका है, जो ट्रांसपेरेंसी है, जो विश्वास है, उसके ऊपर लोगों ने विश्वास करके इतना पैसा दे दिया। आपको गांव में पता है कि किसी से 1000 रुपये निकालना कितना मुश्किल हो जाता है। पूरी टीम हमारे अलग अलग गांव में काम करती है। इंडिया में बैठ के बात करना बहुत आसान है, लेकिन भारत में जाके काम करना बहुत मुश्किल है, क्योंकि कोई इंडियन समझते ही नहीं भारतीय लोगों की कि उनकी समस्या क्या है, उनकी प्रॉब्लम्स क्या है। लेकिन हमें अगर दोनों में तालमेल लाना है तो दोनों सुखी रहेंगे, क्योंकि जब तक गांव का किसान आपको विषमुक्त अनाज नहीं देगा, सही दिशा में आपकी कोई प्रगति मायने नहीं रखती। और वो काम पानी का जो हमने काम किया, 300 गांव में हमने हरियाली लाई, और नेक्स्ट मूवमेंट जो चालू है अभी, सस्टेनेबल विलेज डेवलपमेंट। हर गांव में हमने ऐसे कृषि के मॉडल तैयार किए जो सबका कहना है कि इनऑर्गेनिक में, रासायनिक खेती में उत्पाद बहुत कम मिलता है, रासायनिक खेती में उत्पादन ज़्यादा मिलता है, ऑर्गेनिक में आपका प्रोडक्शन कम मिलता है। लेकिन लास्ट 3 साल में ये पानी के साथ जुड़ के लोगों को हमने ये विश्वास दिलाया कि इनऑर्गेनिक से ऑर्गेनिक खेती में, नेचुरल फार्मिंग में आपका प्रोडक्शन डबल हो सकता है, और ये करके दिखाया। आपको पता है कि पूरे इंडिया में तूर का प्रोडक्शन पर एकड़ करीब 5 से 6 क्विंटल है, हमने वो 22 क्विंटल निकाला ऑर्गेनिक से। चना ग्राम जिसका प्रोडक्शन 6 to 7 क्विंटल पर एकड़ है, लास्ट ईयर हमने 18 क्विंटल पर एकड़ चने का प्रोडक्शन लिया विदाउट एनी एक्सपेंसेस। तो ये मॉड्यूल्स हम फार्मर को दे रहे। पानी से काम करने से और एक अगला कदम हमने ले लिया है कि किसानों को पानी के साथ अगर उसका उत्पादन मिलता है, पैसा मिलता है, तो ही किसान हमारा गांव में रहेगा। लास्ट ईयर की फिगर्स आए थे, आपको पता है कि लास्ट 15 में लातूर में ट्रेन से पानी आया था। एक इंडिया के लिए एक रिकॉर्ड था, 1 महीना लातूर को ट्रेन से पानी मिला। तो ऐसी स्थिति में हमने वहाँ पे ऐसा काम चालू किया है कि उस साल करीब 1 लाख लोग अपना गांव छोड़ के चले गए थे। एक डिस्ट्रिक्ट के पूरे मराठवाड़ा की स्थिति देखा जाए तो करीब 5 लाख से ज़्यादा लोग माइग्रेट हो गए थे। अगर ये माइग्रेशन रोकना है, किसानों को अपने गांव में काम देना है, युवकों को अपने गांव में काम देना है, तो हमें उनका प्रोडक्शन बढ़ाना चाहिए। और वो काम आर्ट ऑफ लिविंग के माध्यम से पूरे महाराष्ट्र में हमारी पूरी टीम काफ़ी अच्छे तरीके से कर रही है। और हमने करके दिखाया कि रेगुलर उत्पादन से 3 गुना उत्पादन हम नेचुरल फार्मिंग में कर सकते हैं। दूसरी बात यह है कि खाली पानी और खेती से काम नहीं होगा, कि गांव की दूसरी समस्या अभी है हमारी, युवक हमारा काफ़ी नशे के अधीन है। तो हमारे जो YLTP के प्रोग्राम से, जिस गांव में हम पानी के लिए काम करते हैं, पहला काम है वहाँ के युवकों को YLTP का कोर्स करवा के उनमें पहला परिवर्तन लाए। जब तक गांव के लोग अपना काम खुद नहीं कर पाएंगे, तब तक गांव का काम सस्टेन नहीं हो जाएगा। इसलिए हमने ये काम शुरू किया है। इसी तरह से पूरे महाराष्ट्र में ये प्रोजेक्ट्स चालू है। 25 नदियों का काम हमने किया है, 32 नदियाँ का काम चालू है। समय बहुत कम है, 5 मिनट का ही समय महाराष्ट्र के लिए है। धन्यवाद। जय गुरुदेव।
So I'm very sorry. I'm thinking probably in this conference people only just try to scold me afterwards. So I think because we have to just have the time management. Of course, there are many things they have just done it, and people they can just have a one-to-one interaction with all the Maharashtra team. Thank you very much. And now I invite the Tamil Nadu team, what they have just done and what they want to just showcase this.
Good afternoon. On behalf of Tamil Nadu River Rejuvenation team, I am presenting whatever we have done in Tamil Nadu under the River Rejuvenation project. And first we have taken up the Naganadi River Rejuvenation project in Tamil Nadu. So this is the position when we started in August 2013. The river is dry, and the team leader, our Dr. Lingaraju, and our volunteers were visiting the field area to locate the recharge structures. And this is that green area is the Naganadi catchment area. The entire thing shows the polar map, and that Naganadi river area divided into 7 micro watersheds. And Bhumi Puja held on 29th September 2014, and we have immediately started the work by volunteer contribution. We have done 5 structures, 5 recharge wells. So this is the work we have done. Using these 5 recharge wells, we did using machinery. So these are all the work under progress. So these are all the works. And boulder checks and recharge well. And during rain, the water is entering into our recharge well. And immediately after that, 25th November 2014, we got good results. Water was there in the wells which were dry for more than 4 years. And one more thing, we have another well which is dry for 15 years, got water. During that period, I want to record 240 mm of rainfall was there in that period. We started during 29th September, and this was during 25th November. In the intervening period, we got 240 mm of water only, rainfall. So that has given such a good results. So based on that results, the people have grown their agricultural activities, and they have grown banana trees. Happy farmers, they are cultivating that rice and all those things. After that, the panchayat presidents, they themselves contacting us to extend to all panchayats. Initially, we started this project in Salamanatham village. While having interaction with the public, the president will not attend. Sir, I am having so many work, you please talk to our people, they will support you. So after realizing the results, they come forward to extend to other places, and you do more structures in our villages also, and to extend to other villages. So we contacted the district administration. So they have extended the support to do this project through MG Narega. So after that, we have done the project through MG Narega. This is the project started through MG Narega, first project, and then it is under progress, and people from various offices at district level are inspecting the projects. Then this is the work under progress through Narega, MG Narega people. And this is the completed one, first one completed through MG Narega. So he's the president standing on the recharge well. And all the engineers and BDOs and all other overseers visited Guruji to get his blessings and to see the whatever works which has been carried out in Kumudavadi river. So these are all some press releases. And one more thing, we have created one park in the Salamanatham village. We have appropriately named it as Abdul Kalam Park. And one more highlight in this project is the people working in MG Narega people are doing the rings which is utilized for the recharge well. So they are doing these well rings on their own. So they are getting some money from this project also. So self-help groups, purely woman-oriented. This project is totally carried out by women people, women only. They are digging up to 20 feet depth, 15-meter length, and 6 feet width. So this is during 2015, the Naganadi river flowing. And this project was extended to other panchayats, and the person who is in the center, blue shirt, he is the collector for Nartharka Vellore district, Mr. Raman, he is inspecting. And in the Naganadi catchment area, we have completed 349 recharge wells and 207 boulder checks. We are locating those things. We have geotagged all the structures, put up in the Google map, and for uploading, for MG Narega work, we have to get AS from the district administration, and we have to upload these things before implementation, during implementation, and after implementation. Then only the people will get payment. So we are doing all these things. We have all the geotag references. We have all the 3 photographs for all the 349 structures. And this is the geomorphology of Naganadi catchment area. We have carried out an impact study with the deputy hydrogeologist of TWAD board, who will explain about what he has done in the impact study.
Good evening to everybody. I am working toward board, Tamil Nadu Water Supply and Drainage Board, and look after Vellore and Tirunelveli district. Vellore having a hardcore area and 75% of hard rock area, only 25% in the sedimentary area. The project area is 95% completely 85% hard rock area. Is one small nallas is Naganadi river flowing in this union. Mostly hard rock area, 25% hilly area and 35% plain area, and non-cultivated area is 10%, and sloping area is 1:5. So this fast, actually TWAD is doing fast 30 years, is doing only developing side, and conservation side is last 10 years. But they are doing only in the major works. They are not concerned. Actually, difference between this project and major government project is 2 things. One is consult with the public. The Naganadi project is consult with the public and women. They can contribute this project. But government side only 100% their own money they are spending the major projects. But conservation activities we can do in initial stage, from hill stage to plain stage. In between, wherever possibilities, we can do these recharge structures. That's why this district collector told me to give valuable suggestions and locate this feasible point to create these structures. Then only after that, I locate this point, then create these structures, and the public and farmers are very satisfied. And the water level impact in this is 1 to 8 meters is improved. Before that, there is no water in 19 wells, this project area. After that, we are getting water and satisfied. So, the farmers also give the suggestion to the neighbor districts and neighbor unions. So, collector also told totally 20 blocks in Vellore district. Out of that, 13 blocks is over-exploited block. Remaining blocks also do that such a type of works for public benefit and water supply schemes. I give valuable suggestions in this report. This is the model for the Vellore district. Its impact is very good. Such a way you can proceed the next union and the next district, and government also support in this river rejuvenation project. Thank you.
Let me continue. He is deputy hydrogeologist from TWAD board. So he has given the recommendation as the results in the nearby wells has increased from 6 to 8 meters. Water level has increased from 6 to 8 meters on an average. So his recommendation is this project can be extended to all other blocks of Vellore district, and our commission, these are all the observation wells he has studied. And there is a short video on Naganadi River Rejuvenation Project. This is the link. And we have also started, depending on the success in Naganadi River project. So we have extended the river rejuvenation in Tamil Nadu to Kausiga River, where 27 recharge wells are under progress. And we have also started Noyal River. Noyal River in Coimbatore district. There are also 15 recharge wells completed. And Saraswati River we have also started in Saraswati River, Goddar, otherwise called as Goddar. And Upper Palar also we have taken. Totally, Vellore district, the district collector is very much cooperative, and our Commissioner of Revenue Administration, he has given instructions to all the collectors. During the video conferencing, he has instructed to all the collectors to follow the Art of Living model to extend it to all the possible areas. So, the government is supporting in all the way. Mr. Gagandeep Singh Bedi, Secretary to Agriculture, Paninder Reddy, those who are supporting us from government. So, Bhaskaran, Director of Rural Development Development Department, he is also highly cooperative. Muthu Meenal and Manohar Singh, Mr. Dr. Raman, and Sivagangai collector has also invited us to start the project in Sivagangai. We have completed some training there. And Madurai collector is also. So all the collectors are willing, very much willing, and they are inviting us to take up the project in their districts. So we need some support for the action plan preparations, and we need the login details for Bhuvan websites so that our volunteers can work on that. So these are all our requests from you for the better implementation of river rejuvenation projects in Tamil Nadu. And let me introduce our leader, Mr. Chandrasekharan Kuppan. He is leading the Tamil Nadu River Rejuvenation Project. We have the volunteers, Tamil Nadu team, Hemant ji and Bhaskar, please. And we have Kausiga River, Mr. Manivannan, Dharanidharan for Sivagangai district, Chandramohan for Noyal River, Chandramohan and Dharanidharan. So, and all our Yuvacharyas, Mr. Ganesha Pandian, Ravichandran, they are all working in the field. Rajesh and Vishnu. And from Salem collector is also now requesting us to take up the work. Mr. Sambat, who is actively working in Salem district. So, if I forget some volunteers, let me. Okay.
Thank you very much, because the team, if you just go, I think there is unlimited numbers. You know, team is, it can just go from 2 to 200, 2,000, 2 lakh, and so on. So it's a team. What I'm just telling is, the whole team is just working, either it's Maharashtra or Tamil Nadu. So just a big hand to both the teams. So now we'll move on to the last session, that is the panel discussion session. It's a very, very important one, where what are all the discussions we just had for the past 1.5 days, and what are all the points we have just taken, and how to move forward. That is the major resolution we'll be just taking in this one. So for this, I invite Dr. K.V. Raju. He is from the ICRISAT, Hyderabad. So he will moderate with the speakers. So most of all these things, it will be most of the people, most of the panel members, they are either they were the chair or co-chair, or the other people also. Yeah, Mr. Dr. Revi Raju and Professor Roger, Professor Yang, Dr. Srinivas Reddy is the Director of the Disaster Management Center, Karnataka. Dr. Lingiraju, Dr. D.P. Rao, and Mr. Yellappa Reddy. has done it. Here. Oh. One more chair. Okay, now the stage is to Dr. Raju.
थैंक यू ऑर्गेनाइजर्स। नमस्कार, सबको स्वागत है। आप किसी भाषा में भी बात कर सकते हैं, किसी भाषा में प्रश्न भी पूछ सकते हैं। You can ask any question, any clarifications in any language. Our panel members are comfortable, so am I comfortable. Those who are sitting in the back, please come in the front. We want your faces to come on the camera. Please come. Also, we want to catch your sleeping faces if there is anybody. Please come, otherwise we lose time. Yeah. Definitely there will be no lectures, no presentations. That much is guaranteed. First things first, the organizers have done an enormous harvesting of water over the last 4 years in 3 pilot states, and they would like to scale up. Right? This is what all the volunteers are saying. I see still the last lot of group. Please come front. There are enough chairs. Otherwise, all the questions will be posed to you. Please come in the front. We want your participation, so you should be in the front line. Okay, let me continue. They've been working very hard for the 4 years. This is a rare people's movement with the local participation, as you might be seen from Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu. Wonderful efforts. They have harvested water, stored it. Now, what we are going to do, we would like to harvest the panelists' brains and also your knowledge and your efforts. So allow us to harvest your good crop, sitting and storing in your brains. This is possible once you participate. That's why we wanted to be in the front line. But then organizers have done one mistake. They've given us a heavy lunch. While it's sitting comfortably in the stomach, it induces a nice sleep and also influenced by the happiness course. So I was asking my colleagues, on the one side you ask a happiness course, on the other side you're disturbing their happiness in the sleep. They want you to be dynamic. Let us be dynamic, let us contribute. The last hour of the whole 2-day session. Now this requires little bit of manthan, little bit of churning your brains, and the panelists' rich experience here. That's my responsibility of churning. Audience will definitely get your mic. You need to raise your hand to get to your mic. Both the panelists and the audience have to list out these points on which we would like to harvest your knowledge and the brain. Here are the questions. Number 1, what you heard from all of them, do you agree on their methodologies? Do you agree, like to comment on them? Do you like to suggest anything more? This is number 1. Panelists, you also need to respond on these points. I'll repeat. Based upon all the 7 years' writings, plus their explanation in the last 1.5 a day, do you have a suggestion, comment, or scaling up methodologies on the way that they're doing rejuvenation of rivers in 3 states, covering several things. I'll come back to numbers in a few minutes. But this scaling up should happen in different agroclimatic zones of this country. Probably they will spread out to other countries also as the art of living working. That's number one. Number two, what is your suggestion how to mobilize the funding from the government or from the CSR or from the donors or from the individuals, anybody? Number three, how do we get more committed professionals for this activity? What is your suggestion? Number four, how do we get more scientific and ecologically sound planning for this rejuvenation of rivers? Otherwise, comments are easy. Dime a dozen. The minute you do, there will be 2 dozen comments. What is a scientific and ecologically sustainable method to do this thing? What are your suggestions? And the last, how can we do more projects like this, big or small, across the country and across various agroclimatic zones? Here is a set of points. First, I don't want to waste your time and the organizer's time. The first, each panel member will get 3 minutes. You count on this, 3 minutes. They're free to flag which 3 points each one of them would like to list. If they don't have, they can pass it on. It's not necessary a single person should know everything, either from the panel or from the audience. You're free. Once they do that round, all the audience participants, please write down those points, particularly the volunteers and those who are working the rejuvenation of rivers. Now, you need to raise the points. What is that you still bothers, but you still need answers, either from you or from others? Let us be open. Let us open to the learning. First, Dr. Shikong Yong, if I pronounce it correctly, from the University of Wolfgang. There is a mic, sir. You can see there a list of 3 points based upon these issues.
Very hard for me to exactly follow your 3 points, but I have the comment for how to provide more water to the society. Now look at today, this 2 days discussion. Very hard to, I learned a lot of things from how to keep the water in the land. But I highly recommend everybody to think about it, to store more water in the sea. And then this means we can increase our water supply. How to solve our water shortage problem in the land? Actually, we don't have water shortage for agriculture for many years, 1,000 years already. Why today we have the problem? Because urbanization, because urban need water. If we can solve the water for the urban, and then we indirectly increase the water supply for the agriculture, for the urban area. So let's look at the future. In next 20, 50, or 100 years, we will have double size of the population in India. How about these people to drink? Our strategy is to attract the people to the coast area, for the inland area, for our city, like this city, where we keep modern increase of the population. But highly population increase in the coast area, we solve these problems, water supply for these people, from coast reservoir. Then we can pump water from the sea without the desalination. And then for this area, our population same and almost the same or slightly increase, and then we can solve the problem. Now we already have sufficient facilities to solve. Definitely we need new technologies like this 2 days everybody talk about. We need this one. Thank you very much. That's my comments.
I really appreciate the friendly set of taking just 1.5 minutes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, please.
I must admit I've forgotten your 7 questions now. but one of them was quite important in my view, and that was to do with scaling solutions up.
Sure, yeah.
One of the things that attracted me to being a water engineer, not a civil, we don't need mechanical engineers. We've lived on this planet without the car. We don't need electrical engineers. We've survived without electricity. We don't need IT engineers. We've managed without the mobile phone. We've never managed without water. So civil engineering, in my view, is one of the most attractive subjects that anybody can study at university, and in particular, water engineering. And for this reason, if I want to build a motorway across a road in Britain, across the land in Britain, certain conditions can be met. I come over here, I can design the same motorway under the same conditions. Some countries are slightly different because you have bigger earthquakes and so forth. You have to account for that. But generally, a structural engineer can build a structure in one part of the world and he can build a similar structure elsewhere. Water is completely different. Every project has to be looked at by itself on its own. I'll give you a comparison with medicine. I can go along with my wife, for example, to the doctor. She says, I've got an upset stomach and I've got a pain in my stomach. The doctor thinks about the problem, says, you've got indigestion, take gastroenteritis tablets and you'll be fine. The next patient comes in and says, I've got a pain in my stomach, I feel unwell. That patient could have stomach cancer. I can't just assume, oh, your problem, I'm not a medic, but this doctor told my wife that with an upset stomach, she should have these gastroenteritis tablets. So medicine, you have to look at every individual patient, you have to look at their problems, and you have to address their problems. Now, many of the solutions I've looked at here are fine for certain problems, but I can think of many other situations where they would be a disaster. So my first point is, you cannot scale the problem up unless you look at the whole basin holistically. And you need to be careful when you just transpose one solution to one community and apply it to another, because it may not apply, the ground conditions may be different, the whole host of reasons why it may be different. And that's why water engineering, in my view, is hugely attractive. Another point, okay, sorry.
Thank you very much, Professor Roger. One model does not fit all. Very interesting, very logical. I hope the volunteers take care of this. Dr. Lingaraju, please.
It's my experience. Whatever so many methodologies are there to increase the water potential are solving partially. But when we look at the river basin as a living system with different layers of natural processes, we have to look at it as a holistic and integrated issue. Understand the existing natural processes and copy it. That is where the remote sensing and GIS comes to the picture. And depending on the nature of the terrain, nature of the geology or the geohydrology, we have to prepare the action plan. That is where a challenge is there for me. We are successful in hard rock terrain. We are successful in Tamil Nadu. We are successful in Karnataka and even Maharashtra to a certain extent. But we need to take up more and more different geological terrains. Maybe with respect to the rainfall, it may be differing.
Okay.
So that kind of planning is required, and I need more and more people with local knowledge to participate.
Thank you very much. Very interesting point based upon his rich administration plus now with the art of living. The 2 points, one, it should be holistic. The second one, it should be integrated. Saying is easy. You know better, so as the other volunteers, how difficult it is to bring these 2 dimensions. Thank you very much. Dr. Srinivas Reddy.
Hello, namaskara. Good afternoon, everybody. From morning, I've been hearing about only the, whatever the rejuvenation, you are targeting only for the water. But more than water, if you take any watershed, there are many things are there in the watersheds. Because you are working for the watershed wise, you have to target for other resources also, especially LRI, whatever land resources inventory we have to do. And other resources needs to be assessed and target for that improvement also. That is very important thing. Only water resources is not the only thing. You have to give much importance to encourage socio-economic aspects of the society there who lives in the watershed. That is one thing. Especially in Karnataka, there is a very good database is there. It goes up to the survey number wise. The Bhumi database is there in the government. In each survey number, entire LRI you can do up to survey number wise. And for your information, I am telling you, see in Karnataka, whatever my center has done, we have established 6,000 rain gauges covering all the Gram Panchayats. Lot of information is being generated in our center. That can be, that too, whatever the rainfall information is there, it is not only the amount of rainfall, it also gives you the intensity, duration, magnitude, everything. You can use this information and you can generate better resources management, and also in a sustainability it has to work. Otherwise, it's of no use.
Thank you, Srinivas Reddy. That's very interesting. Please take down Dr. Srinivas Reddy's email and his organization website. Very useful. One of the first of its kind in the entire country, Karnataka Natural Resource Management Development Center, what they're doing. The 6,000 rain gauge stations, no state has. The kind of plot-wise land records which they have done for the entire country, and for the advisory that they sent for 22.2 million farmers every day is unique. Take his thing, all your questions, shoot to him. Thank you very much. Yeah, please.
Thank you. I come from National Remote Sensing Agency, retired director. So this integrated survey, in principle, what we are doing today dates back to late 70s when the drought was a problem, and Indira Gandhi at that time, they said, can science and technology can do something or not? CSIR took it up, Karimnagar district was taken as a model. We did integrated surveys at the time, carried out all natural resources, integrated, and then we gave alternate land use plans, water conservation, etc. This was done based on aerial photographs. Please remember, late 70s. This mapping was done in early 70s when satellite remote sensing was not available. Then during Professor Rao's time, Professor Yor Rao's time in space technology came, they said, and mind you, the Karimnagar example is in records of Planning Commission. The kind of integrated surveys is the solution for backward districts, particularly for drought-prone areas. Even today, you can check it up. Then it was taken up in a pilot scale during Yor Rao's time. 6 backward districts, one watershed was collected for Karnataka, Andhra, Madhya Pradesh, Orissa, and Maharashtra. These Tamil Nadu. And these watersheds were tested for 5 years. And this methodology, what Dengaraj is doing here, has been applied very severely with the cooperation of the district collector, planners, and their own money, government money. And we showed the wells were dry, they became wet, and they started pumping water, and greenery came. Groundwater became higher up, So this was then it was presented to Planning Commission. Then Planning Commission approved for 175 districts around the country. And this integrated mission for sustainable development maps on 50,000 scale, where what needs to be done with respect to water conservation, with respect to alternate land use, with respect to biodiversity, is given to every state, whichever is covered in the 175.
Very good. Thank you very much, sir. This would be really...
Just I want to add one last sentence. I will not say that this is the only model for the whole country. Certainly not.
Sure.
Each region has its own problem. Most of these districts are in hard rock areas, is relevant. But in other areas, we have different models that has to be evolved. What I suggest is, Government of India or with the state corporation should evolve a manual describing the methodology approved by all people, commented by all people, finally, which can be approved and tested and applicable to all areas with the government money, funding coming from Manerga, whatever it is. Yeah. That is my suggestion.
Thank you very much. That is a very useful suggestion. All the Rejuvenating Rivers team, please look at this. The land use planning meticulously done on a 50,000 scale. There's a 9-fold land use classification. Now there is also 13-fold land use classification available, which would be very useful for planning your catchment and what Dr. Srinivas Reddy Lingaraj was saying on the watershed basis, on the natural resources management. Very useful. Thank you, sir. Yeah, Dr. Yella Preddy.
I will take only 3 minutes and 3 points. Point number 1, peninsular India, we don't have a luxury of glaciers, snow. We have only aranya. Forest is a mother of rivers. River is a mother of fish. We should bear this in our mind. So E.P. Stebbing in 1957 conducted some sort of a investigation at the global level and published very interesting articles in Indian Forester in 1957 about the forest and water supply catchment area. Today, Michael Dombeck also in America have proved that the product from forest is not fuel, not timber, not wildlife, and it is water. Water. The second point is the past history. If you take even Kumadwati, if you talk to the local people, who built this Gokata? Who built this Kalyani? It is not engineering colleges, not consultants, not experts, not CSR funds. Local ladies collected the money, built a Gokata. Local people built a Kalyani. In Karnataka state, in Kolar itself, there are more than about 25,000 Gokatas, about 10,000 Kalyanis. I think Lingaraju and Raju, Dr. K.V. Raju also is aware of that. So the local technology, this thing has been proved beyond doubt. Local material, local knowledge, local resource management is certainly much more feasible, and they will own the ownership. So when I interacted with a group of RV Engineering College postgraduate students, Lingaraju was present there. When I asked a question, here is a Kalyani, not even a single stone has moved this side and that side from last 500 years. What is the technology? Is there any literature in modern civil engineering texts? The engineering students confessed, no, we don't have any knowledge about the Kalyani who built and these water resources which are available within the local material, local knowledge, local resource management. The third point is the interesting thing. Last year, in Davanagere, around about Chitradurga, pre-monsoon and early monsoon, total failure. So more than about nearly 300, 400, nearly about 50 villages, about 500 ladies and the local community has evolved a crop, the cropping pattern. So when monsoon fails, what crop should go? Pre-monsoon, what crop should grow? So I interacted with more than about 300 village communities recently. They were very happy. Even in spite of monsoon shift here and there is a biodiversity. There are definitely suitable crops are there. Only thing is, you should have that wisdom of which season, what crop should go. All these things have been completely changed because of the monoculture, because of BT technology, because of imposition of the policies by somebody else. So the local knowledge, the local site-specific cropping pattern certainly will get over. They are not feeling the failure of the monsoon. They are not feeling the failure of all the other problems. So we have published some few articles. Dr. Gayatri probably may be knowing. We have published certain articles about how even if there is a slight change in the crop in the monsoon, how they can certainly sustain. These are the 3 points which I wanted to emphasize.
Thank you, Dr. Yellapreddy. It's very useful. Definitely, I'm sure all the volunteers may be looking at focus on the local knowledge. What CSE brought out a long-term publication, a dying wisdom. Please harvest that dying wisdom. Rejuvenate them, utilize them. Look at the traditional water bodies, which is about 36,000 in Karnataka, 39,000 in Tamil Nadu, and 48,000 in combined Andhra Pradesh, and several huge numbers in Vidarbha region of Maharashtra, and also Buddhelkhand and Uttar Pradesh. We definitely need to focus on them. Definitely is put it on the traditional water bodies, traditional knowledge, and also keep working about the crop planning, the whole thing. One thing I would like to point before we move on, I'll come back to the panel members, 1 point, 1 minute each. If you forgot anything else, I'll come back to you. Before that, all of us need to keep one thing in mind. Definitely, their organization has much more rich data, so as some more in the audience. If you look at 113 years rainfall data on a monthly basis in this country, there is a clear shift in terms of seasonality, in terms of volumes, in terms of intensity. So you need to keep this in mind when you look at any planning, any rejuvenation, any harvesting. Thank you very much. I'll come back to Dr. Shikya. 1 minute, 1 point. Would you like to get any one more point you would like to share? There's a mic there on the table. Yeah.
Okay. I'd like to share with all you and actually thank all you. Look at the history. 1 million years ago, no human being here. Another 1 million, nobody here. We maybe at that time were the dinosaur. And then today, we look at the water. What is water? I believe that is that God created not only us, even the dinosaur or other people. Today we protect our water, actually good for ourselves, not good for the nature. Also good for nature, but eventually good for ourselves. And then I see water is the agent that our created us, more than us. And then today, very important one, we need to conserve water for ourselves, for our generation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Professor Roger.
I don't disagree with the comments that my colleagues have made, but I believe that there are some complexities in the system, and that is we live in a capitalist world, and the farmer has to produce on his or her land what can give him or her the highest income for that ground. That may not be in the country's best interest. For example, in my country, it's now very attractive to produce biodiesel so that the airline companies can say we are flying people all around the world using green fuel. That means very often we are growing useless crops for feeding the British people instead of growing crops like wheat and so forth, because the farmer can make more money producing biodiesel. So we can't ignore that we live in a capitalist world and we have to deal with water pricing, and this is a problem.
Thank you very much. Just 1 point.
Yeah, again, my own requirements. We have a lot of volunteers from different states coming together, taking the example of whatever has been done so far. We need all of them to get together and form an integrated team to work with the central team. And also, yesterday, there were a lot of assurances from ISRO and other organizations to support us to prepare the plan and give training also. If the teams can get organized in different states, we will interact and arrange training and help in preparing the plans.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
The concept what they have developed, especially. Okay. Whatever the concepts evolved for the resonation of these things, the rivers, probably by seeing the work done by the Art of Living, lead by our Lingraju, excellent work they have done. But if it comes to the, if it comes to the utilization, resources, one way we are developing the resource, but in other way, if it comes to the utilization, we are not training the farmers properly. That is more important. You have to give much importance to management side also, rather than only the improvement side. That is my
Very important point. Yeah, please.
Quickly, I just want to clarify that this seminar is it limited to river rejuvenation and the kind of work they are doing? In that case, we have to take a certain view. Otherwise, a short term, a long term, medium term, a long term concept on water, its costing, its national distribution, and appropriate use has to be done in a much larger measure if we have to carry for the whole country. If we are doing in a limited way for 4 or 5 states in the south, it is different. Yeah. But water in general, because somebody was talking about river linking. See, definitely it is very expensive, as somebody commented, but what is expensive today may not be expensive tomorrow. Therefore, these are the factors which you have to seriously consider. Yeah. And in this methodology, I would request all the technical aspects of geophysical, geotechnical, yesterday people are commenting, is geophysics taken into account, is geotechnical taken into account? All those things, everything has to be taken, and one manual, which is applicable to different regions also, because each region has its own application. That has to be done.
Thank you very much. Thank you, good point.
Yeah. Today, the country's policy or economists talk about only the profit, making money, increasing income. But we have forgotten about food security, water security, and health security. It is really available on site. Only thing is it requires integrated, systematic way of connecting the health, food security, and self-sufficiency. Because of this is a very rich country with very rich biodiversity, it is possible to secure all these things at source.
Thank you very much. Now that you heard 2 rounds of suggestions or comments or sharing their wisdom on the 7 points that's listed in the beginning, now it's your turn. Feel free. If anybody is sleeping, the cameras will definitely focus on you first. Okay? Volunteers, please. You can take the mic. One after the other, please. It will come back to you. It will come back to you. It will come back.
After listening to the all knowledgeable persons' expressions, I would like to concentrate only on the display made on the board. The art of living, rising sun with 2 hands. It gives a meaning that men and women have to work together. That top one, art of living logo. Rising sun with 2 hands, men and women, shoulder to shoulder, have to work for this project. Then only the International Association for Women Values also will have a value for the project. And river rejuvenation. River rejuvenation, people who have participated here, who are listening, who are watching the show and all, they should feel that it is for the people, by the people, to the people. Then only the nation will have a pride that we are reaching certain goal, and the water crisis will be, no more water crisis in future.
I have one humble request.
Yes.
As we said for the panel members, we also request the audience or the delegates, please, 1 point at a time, give an opportunity to others, okay?
Yes. Yes.
We will, like a waterway, we will move from this side. So it will not zigzag, okay? All on this side first, so all the 3 mics are here.
I want to share my
just 1 point.
knowledge on local innovation followed by farmers in Uttara Pinakini area near Honde Bavi.
Sir, 1 point.
Yes.
Are you sharing, are you suggesting 1 point?
Suggesting.
1 point, yes.
Yeah.
Please.
See, everybody talking about rejuvenation of rivers, but lifting of sand is neglected.
Okay.
So without lifting sand in the river, we can conserve lot of water, which is an example that the Tondebavi area, farmers are lifting water from river itself without removing sand. Deposit is
Done.
somewhere around
Done.
50.
Clear point. Next. We'll come back. We'll come back. Yeah, please.
Sir, today's scientific deliberation talks too much about statistics, nothing practical. Let us move together according to Guruji, together in harmony. Let us speak one voice. Let us mind be in agreement. It is not followed in this deliberation. But as Elleparati sir said, let us start from the local level. What is the problem? Move to the highest level.
Agreed.
Thank you, sir.
My request to the panel members, if you have any clarifications, suggestions on the points that's emerging, you will get a turn. Yeah, please.
Yeah, we all know groundwater level is depleting because of over-exploitation through bore wells. So what is that as a country we are doing to address this?
Okay, fine. Next.
Good evening, sir. So my question is, we are spending 200 crores in this 1 year for the regeneration. But my point is, sir, what are we doing after 10 years? Anyways, the younger generation is not getting educated. My question is, if any kind of policy is been suggested to the government for the implementation of the study of water rejuvenation?
Okay, good point. Next.
And river rejuvenation is a very important project, as I see it. So we need to involve more and more people from the field. So there are a lot of geologists, geophysicists working in the field. They need to be involved, and every university has a geology department. They also need to be involved.
Good point.
Thanks.
I'm Srinivasan. I am from Namma Namma Kulam in Chennai, constituted by Guruji to save the ponds and lakes of Tamil Nadu and Chennai. What are we doing about in terms of saving the water? We are talking about river, the water can be channeled, but we need to start looking at the alternatives to save water, like building dams, etc. So where are we going in that direction in India? Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Sir,
Yeah, please.
I would like to say only one word.
Please.
Governance. All things should lead to the governance. Today we have a manual on water supply, a manual on sewerage, a manual on solid waste management, but not a manual on river rain systems. So, as I mentioned yesterday, like ownership and participation, today I would like to mention in the governance, if you do not reach the last man, this will become an ICU treatment, intensive care unit. Please.
Thank you. Lost. Yeah, please.
Excuse me, sir. One side we are telling that we should not disturb the natural course of the nature or natural course of the river flow. And now we are thinking about linking of the rivers. I think there is too controversial thinking going on. I think it's better to have some clarifications on that side.
Thank you.
Yeah, at the end of this conference, I am looking for a very strong, constructive message from all the speakers to all the members who are available in the hall and the members which are on the Facebook or on the link, where we can improve the practical efficiency by ensuring the contribution of the young generation or the young blood for this social cause.
Thank you very much. There is also old blood who would be interested, not just young blood. Anybody from this side? Sir, you have already asked. Give us the opportunity for others. We'll come back to you. Anybody? Okay, please.
Only one constructive suggestions to the whole team which is working on rejuvenation.
Yeah.
The part is going on. Only thing is I want to suggest the team to build a database. Otherwise what happens when we ask for what is the impact, what is the suggestion, a concurrent monitoring and evaluation system has to be the part of the whole process. Otherwise what happens, what we do it for posterity, it becomes a questionable thing, only perceptions.
Sure. Okay, yeah, ma'am.
We have been talking only about agriculture, but what about water to the cities? Because the whole process started because we need water for Bangalore. It's if it goes on the way Bangalore is growing now, it will take up the whole of Kaveri. There won't be any more Kaveri left. So we need to look at that. And almost every house has a borewell these days. So what are we doing about that?
definitely one thing we can do if everybody agrees. Bangalore has something like a 430,000 bore wells. 30% are defunct. Can we close all of them? Yeah, please.
Hello. Thank you, Raju Garu. I met you already in ICRISAT 5 times, 4 times. Sir, one suggestion is, regarding with regard to 5 questions you have posted at the start of your speech, the methodologies that has been adopted by so many agents in Tamil Nadu and Karnataka still needs fine-tuning on the methodologies. They have to discuss further within a second session with the subject experts, as suggested earlier with the universities and other field experts in the field. That's very necessary. And the other thing is most important, in other states also the work has been already started. For example, in Andhra Pradesh, since 15 to 17 years it has been, Raju also knows about it. The only thing lacking in the Andhra Pradesh is the humanitarian. The social engineering aspect is lacking. AOL can take up that one. In this one, they can organize. As far as the 5th question regarding the extraction of the local experiences at the district level, you have so many, plenty of retired scientists available in the district level itself. We can tag them, and the AOL can take the knowledge of these people, and it can be better utilized, and this method can go further, and we can do very wonderful work. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yep. We'll come back. We'll come back. Please.
I will give only one point. The RRP program to be adapted, considered in future for climate change related studies. It is very useful to the RRP program.
Thank you. Yeah, please.
Just this micro insurance model as a replicable model for river rejuvenation. Take Kumudvati and Vedavati model as a scalable model and replicate it across Karnataka or South India and move across India. Micro insurance was implemented as a Yashaswini scheme in Karnataka, so that has become a very good model now.
Sure. Thank you. Yeah. We'll come back, sir. We'll come back. Yeah.
Myself?
Yeah, please.
Okay, thank you. My name is Malik. I'm a retired chief engineer from Urban Water Supply and Drainage Board. I have got one request to the team, Rejuvenation team. So to convey that request, I have got few points to read. So you are harvesting water and you are rejuvenating all the rivers. And all your team told that the water level in the open wells as well as borewells is coming up. One negative aspect is nobody except Mr. Desai and Nagaraj didn't tell not even a single word, because of now I am talking about shit, which everybody doesn't want to talk.
Sure.
So now under Swachh Bharat scheme, open defecation should be eradicated by the end of this 2018, I think. So how many pits will be there in urban areas as well as rural areas? So your watershed will cover both urban area as well as rural area. Urban area is causing a lot of problem because of our underground system. In future, we may not have sufficient money to go for UGD system. We may go for the Swachh Bharat pits and other things. So I will finish. Because to convey my message, I need something to tell. 30 seconds, I will finish. Okay, sir, thank you. So what I want to say is, so after another 3 years, your water level will come up and my pits will start leachate, entry into the soil, and then these two will mix. So after another 2 or 3 years, you may find some strange problem. Please take care of it, sir. That's all. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Please. One point.
I am Dr. Shankaran, Chief Scientist, retired from NGRA CSIR. There are 5 points, the Panchatantra.
Oh, sorry. Please.
River.
No. Just 1 point. More details you can definitely write.
No, all the 5 points will come in this 1 point.
Oh, fine.
See, this is very important. I have been involved in this project along with Dr. SKS and Lingaraju.
I should
just 1 minute, because this is to be known. There's a lot of discussions has been taken place. Yesterday, probably you are also aware of that, and I would like to tell that.
Okay.
Please allow me to talk at least 2 minutes. Okay?
Please.
Right. See, nobody has touched about river remediation. We talk about rejuvenation. What is remediation is, suppose we remove the pollution from the river. I was expecting some idea from the gentleman from UK, like if we are able to give a methodology we can replicate in India, like Thames River, and then we can do something about the Coombe River as well as Musi River. That's 1 point. And then recycle, reuse and remediate. This should be our motto. And this I have been doing for the past 38 years. Dr. SKS knows and Lingaraju knows. River linking, why can't we do linking of river for the polluted river?
Please,
Perennial
please,
river.
please.
And then there is a need for, just 1 minute sir, 1 minute. Just give me 1 minute. By the time you stop me, I can finish my points.
Okay.
Okay. Now, biogeophysics, try to understand that. If anybody doesn't know, please come and talk to me. Then hydro-environmental engineering, there's also another subject which we have to implement in this. If you want, you talk to me. And at last but not the least, consider rain gardens. And then, to do all these things, I assure you that in Tamil Nadu, I am there for helping the AOL in all matters, right from geology, geophysics, environmental engineering, as well as rain garden establishment. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yeah, please.
Jai Gurudev. I think we were talking about river rejuvenation, but after rejuvenating, like the exploitation of the water, like for example, the industries are exploiting our rivers. Nobody touched upon those points. No? So on industrial exploitation, pollution, if we could put more light, how we are going to handle that?
Sure. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, Jai Gurudev, Bhaskar from Chennai. For everything, we are looking into two aspects. One is the subtle and the gross. In the gross nature, we see the river rejuvenation project. Say down the road 5 years,
sure.
We are self-reliant on water. Everything is fine. But why we get into this situation? It's all exploitation and unawareness, right? So what do we do there? We have to look into the subtle nature and we have to address that.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Kakal, Chandrasekhar Kakal from Shimonga district, Malnad region. I stay in Bangalore, but I come from that village. My one point is on scaling up. If we can take up one watershed by local people and local community, and if it becomes bottom up, and if it can take the help from Art of Living and the government scheme, I think that can be a scalable model. Why I'm saying this is the experience that we have already started in my village. There is a river stream called Javasa River, which is a tributary of Sharavati, which runs for 9 kilometers, which none of you have heard of. But it is a lifeline for that village, and that stream is very important for that village. India is full of thousands of villages and thousands of streams. Correct. And all the rivers are made up of those streams. If you are able to rejuvenate those upstream streams and create scientific interventions to make them flow again, the old memories of what people shared in the conference, like we used to swim there and all that can happen again. The model is that start with one watershed, local community, local leadership, take the scientific help from the Art of Living, take the government help like Narega scheme, and scale it up. Bottom up can produce result, top down will produce statistics.
Thank you very much. Yeah. After that.
Hello.
Yeah.
Sir, I'm Dr. Shivramu from Agriculture University. The last perenniality of the rivers, to bring it back, definitely watershed is the best approach, and watershed was the best approach.
Thank you.
Now there is a mismatch. The mismatch is the population is burgeoning. Unless otherwise, interlinking of river, if it is done, I don't think we can bring back the balance. Definitely, as our Alapareddy said, Kalyanis, Gokattas, definitely they will get recharged if this interlinking of river has to be done. Watershed is now like an Alilu Seve it has become now. Thank you
very much. Yeah,
hello.
Hello.
Within each district,
Yeah.
I would expect that the social, cultural and geophysical conditions are the same all over the country within each district. So if the experts can sit together and make a manual for ideal village development, all the aspects, whether it's water, whether it's sanitation, everything, education, and then that manual can be circulated to volunteers who are not experts, then we can just take it forward and scale it up all over the country, because whatever we do in India, we need to do on a mass scale fast.
Yeah, good point. Yeah. Correct. Good point. Yes.
Yeah. Hello, sir. I'm Saurabh here. So I think we should work towards making the Bangalore lake water potable. That's what I feel.
Thank you very much.
Sir.
Yeah, we'll come back.
Sir, I'm Professor Panaskar. My suggestion regarding the river linking project is that instead of going for the bigger links, one should go for the smaller links so that the ecosystem will not get disturbed to a greater extent.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Sir, one thing which I have observed, I would like to share one point. Tree plantation is also very important part of our river rejuvenation methodology in Art of Living. And I firmly believe that because of Art of Living stress relief programs, we are able to integrate many people and invoke that ownership within them where they feel that this is my work, this is for my village, this is for me, and that is why it is becoming successful. Thank you.
I think we should focus on the proper usage of water because natural resources are very limited.
Sir, the pollution of river is because of industrial effluents also. In all industries are having efficient effluent treatment plants, but there is no skilled operators. Due to that only, the polluted effluents reaching the river stream, and many industries are not covering the 33% of greenery.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is Dr. Y.R.S. Rao representing National Institute of Hydrology. My point is regarding the methodology of river rejuvenation. My point is wherever we do hydrological interventions, finally we have to estimate the components of water balance components, how much runoff, evaporation, recharge to the groundwater, before interventions and after interventions. Then only we can try to understand entire river regime and the future scenarios also. Thank you.
Yeah, please.
First point, agree on methodology. I agree 30% of the Art of Living methodology. Another 30% we have to go for to increase the forest cover. Number 2, organic farming has to be encouraged, and pollution due to agriculture, that is usage of fertilizers, all those things has to be contained. And we have to do catchment protection. So then only the watershed approach will be complete and holistic. Number 2, government scaling up. If the panel members and all the experts here, if you give a good product to recommend to government, they will definitely accept the methodologies, policies. Number 4, policies. We have to implement these river rejuvenation or conservation techniques by giving priority. First priority should go to rain shadow region. Number 2, overexploited areas in the country. Then we can go for other river. The ecologically sustainable solution, last point, we have to, there is no other go except linking of rivers. Like Godavari is discharging 3,000 TMC of water into the sea. Our Honorable Minister for Water Resources has rightly pointed out to connect the rivers of Godavari with Krishna, then Pennar, and finally into the Kaveri. First, we have to interlink the peninsular rivers, then with the Himalayan rivers. That is the ecologically sustainable solution.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sir. Sir, we should respect the other's opinion. Let them tell, please.
Hello.
That's fine. After the meeting, yeah, please.
Often we speak of this Thames and Danube model, but we do not think of that in case of Thames and Danube, 100 years time series data were there.
Correct.
Based on this quality index, all these things were developed, not only developed for the whole basin, it was in different sections of the basin. In our country, hardly there is any database, and if it is there, that is too scarce, and that too for the last 20 years when there is hue and cry.
Very valid point.
So it is high time that we start thinking in those terms, developing a database and uniform quality control system. Because our experience is this observation, for example, in groundwater and surface water, I am telling, the gauge reading of state and center, whenever any problem comes, it is found that two things are totally different. Similarly, in the case of quality also. So this also has to be made, some synchronization is required. This is one part. Another part is that regarding this model of rejuvenation, water asset development, it cannot be a uniform model for the whole state or the whole country or anything, or whole hard rock terrain. Because different basins have got different environment, different ecology, different geology and hydrology.
Correct.
So accordingly, they have to have their own model. Of course, the model of one basin, in the adjoining basin, it will be a guideline, but that has to be developed. Then only it can be used. And that too, at the grassroots level, who will not go into science of the matter, but they will take the synthesis of it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Last three persons, 1, 2, and 3. Yeah.
To create awareness, river rejuvenation should be included in the school syllabus. Awareness should be created among school children, and they should know the preciousness of water.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, sir. Sir, I think so. The mandate of the
No,
government
sorry,
departments.
sir, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sir, I would like to take 2 points. One is we are focusing last 2 days in the upper catchment near to the hill, 3rd order, 4th order drainage system. We have to focus on the middle stage of the river and the end stage of the river. Because in the end stage of the river, the coastal area, it's a salt water comes and the polluted water also reaches. That we have to take care of in part of this. And the second one is that pollution from the urban area. So urban area groundwater resource also we have to take care of. These 2 points. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Sir, here, I think so you have to bring in changes in all these government departments. Their mandate has to be changed. And what they are responsible for the community, that has to be amended. All the acts and policies have to be amended. All our Druckerian laws, what we have in India, it's all British outdated laws we have. And politicians don't have time to discuss on these laws because you're governing this country only by law and a policy. A department functions only by a law and a policy. So unless and until you don't bring any changes, any conference of this kind will never suffice anything. That is one. And the second one is all these people who are there in the government are happily enjoying 50, 58 years of salaries, benefits, all pocketing it in there, this one. It is not reaching the people, sir. I am very sorry to say this. Grass and loot level. Till today, people are dying because of suffocation of pollution. Pollution Control Board doesn't have any teeth. They can't arrest the people who was polluted in industry. Correct. And big industrialists come and talk in the conference. Their industries are polluting in that Bellandur area.
Point is made.
Thank you.
Desilting of existing pond, lake and reservoir, then link to either reservoir or in the river is a one point. Next, in urban area, most of the houses there is no rainwater harvesting structure. They must do perfect rainwater harvesting structures, particularly in the urban area and major town and corporation area. Then only save the water within the area. Thank you.
Last point here. Yes, yeah, please go ahead.
My humble request to Dr. Srinivas Reddy, sir. Can we expect a policy on the lines of equity water? I mean, on the similar lines of Pani Panchayat? Please, sir. Please look on it. Equity of water.
Hold on.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, please.
The first point is I am not from the English-speaking country, okay? And I'm from the Taiwan. And yesterday, the Gurudev says, without the water, we cannot survive, right? But if you ask the new generations, they say, without water and the mobile phone, you cannot survive, right? And then because most of the mobile phones are produced by our country, Taiwan. Then we know the water consumption is many types of normal use, make a mobile. So in my country, you know, the water rejuvenation is not by the natural way. We use the chemical to deal with the water problem. So it becomes another problem. So I come here, so I learn a lot. Then my point is that we should motivate the new generations to take actions to do the natural ways, water rejuvenation and conserve the water. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Last point. Yes.
Sir, I am from a delta area, from the Kaveri Delta.
in our delta area, the groundwater level is also going down, and then the surface water is not available. But is there any solution, any suggestions, anything? That is, I feel, it's a very important
Thank
part.
you. Thank you.
1 minute, sir.
Now, for
Sir,
the
one question for here. Government should invest at least 75% for river rejuvenation program under Manrega. It is better.
Thank you. We'll come back. Organizers, please look at this. We thought people will not voice. Now there are more voices.
I really don't know how many points I should raise.
1 point.
Only
one
one
per person.
All are related to only one point, that is water. Equitable distribution of water.
No. Okay. Thank you very much.
No, 1 point.
Okay.
1 point. Listen. You see, there is a mention in the Constitution about the surface water. There is no mention of the groundwater in the Constitution at all. You see, you can control the surface water and equitably distribute it also, which is being done in terms of this one.
Yeah.
But in groundwater, it gets related to the individual ownership of the land.
Okay.
How to do it? This
Thank
is
you.
one.
We'll come back
The
to
second point. Only 1 point?
Yes, sir. Please. Please. Others.
Only a few points. You see, cropping pattern. You see, that is the most important thing. You see, you have to price the water.
Yeah.
You see, suppose I use 1 kg of sugar. Price of 1 kg of sugar. I spend 100 rupees water. If the millets only consume 10 rupees water, you see, you should be given the benefit of 90 rupees. The pricing of water in terms of the constitution. Third thing is, you see this definition of aquifers in hard rocks depending upon the lithology, geomorphology and all.
Thank you.
These are some of the points. Of course, the basin and all
Sure.
that, we'll discuss these things. There is no
Thank you
point
very
in my
much.
discussing.
Last point, no more mics, please.
Sir, methodology and technology cannot reach up to the villages or some rural area. Can ISRO or some type of agencies can help to all the ground data for storing the water and other sources?
Yeah. Thank you very much. Bring the mics, please.
सर एक्सपर्ट्स मीडिया का क्या रोल देखते हैं, मीडिया को इसमें क्या रोल अदा करना चाहिए, ब्रीफ में प्लीज आंसर।
ये तो बहुत अच्छा है। जहां पे मीडिया की बात उठ रहा है, क्या इतना सारे लोगों की जो आवाज उठाए आज, इतने कितना अंश या कितना बिंदु मीडिया में आजकल फोकस हो रहा है, या आप सोच सकते हैं या जरूरी है, आपको ये बार सोचना चाहिए। लास्ट 2 points, I'll come back to Dr. Subramaniam. I'll just point. 2 things, it's very good. Organizers should be very happy to see so many brains are willing to harvest their knowledge, willing to contribute, willing to come together. 2 points we need to keep this in mind in addition to all the valid points you say. One, the emerging competitive uses of water between agriculture, industrial use, and domestic use, besides environmental use. The biggest conflict that you're looking at the global and the local is this competitive use. Those who are working on the river basin planning or in the catchment area or in the river, please keep this in mind. Most of the metropolitan cities pumping water from 100 kilometers, 200 kilometers, 300 kilometers is going down the rest of the areas. On the one side, it's your own brothers or sisters of the families, those who are in the urban areas. So you are extracting the faraway distant places. You can't stop it. When you have a well in the house, you can't tell others, don't drill a well, unless you ensure a piped water supply. So keep this in mind, number one. Number two, India, at least this discussion is in India, it's also true in other countries. There's enough water. If you take the water quantity as a whole, there is enough presentations made by different people. The question is distribution. The question is access to that. The question is willingness to pay. That's where the problem is. Dr. Subramaniam, last point. Mike, please. That's the last point. Then we'll come back to the panelists. 1 minute each. A and B can be combined. A plus B plus square. Okay.
No, I think what all has been achieved by AOL is really commendable, and I would think it is a part of the learning curve, and they have reached a good enough stage to keep going. So it is time to become a little bit more serious. Number one, what happens? You're all the time thinking of a poor farmer, you are helping him and all that. What happens when once you have got a lot of groundwater and one industrialist comes and you get into the classical case of Coca-Cola in Kerala and Coca-Cola in Banaras, the classical case, and then the thing that prevents you from that fellow tapping your all this effort. So every effort must be made to pass this model groundwater bill of 2016, which Karnataka has not passed as yet. And I think this is the time where they should take a serious effort. Otherwise, it's just so easy for an industrialist to put it in your Kumudavati basin and have free water. That's 1A.
Okay.
1B.
I thought it's combined 1 and B.
It's a part of the same thing. Now, another thing is this right now, this rejuvenation or recharge, whatever you call it, is an essential part of this is forests. Forests, somehow people think trees, a bunch of trees is forest. No. Professor Yellappa Reddy would agree, a bunch of trees is not forest. A forest is a forest. So it should be mandatory in the whole system of operation that I am going to grow a forest as a part of the recharge exercise. This small change will make a lot of difference.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay. The last round to the panelists, half a minute each. If you have a point, otherwise you can pass. Please.
All right, I have one thing to remind of us. Our purpose to keep river running. Think about this. If we don't have urban to take your water, what will happen? Thank you.
Professor Roger.
I'd like to make two very quick points. Firstly, I think even if you put everybody together, we face the biggest crisis the world has ever faced, far bigger than climate change. People have moved from Britain to the Middle East and coped with much warmer temperatures. That is not the ultimate challenge we face. The ultimate challenge this world faces is water management globally, and I don't think we can solve it easily. The second point I'd like to pick up from the lady at the back who mentioned education. I think this is the most important point of all. We really need to educate people about the whole water cycle. Just to take one point, I could show you examples. I could sit down with you and explain examples where planting trees would be a wonderful solution. I could take another catchment in another area and show you that planting trees would be an absolute disaster. So we cannot conclude just because planting trees in one place has solved our problem. Now, the only way we can get people on board who don't understand hydrology is to sit down with them and educate them. And we can do that, but it has to be done. And I believe Art of Living has a wonderful opportunity to do this because it can connect with so many people to provide a much better education on water management.
Thank you very much. Dr. Lingaraj.
I am very happy to see the response. Many questions, many suggestions, all are welcome. I would like to say that the methodology adopted is not the final. We have to evolve it for different states. But here, the methodology adopted in so far, whatever we have done, has cellular development. Each, for example, in Kumudavati we have 223 tanks. Each tank will have a stream network and all along that groundwater recharge, and we are creating a water pool to get the surface water for the cattle and other users, and around that we are creating what are called as tree parks, where all the birds, bees are attracted, and in a way, we are creating water, micro eco restoration cells all along the stream network, and simultaneously we start working. The entire basin gets the vegetation cover, the surface water and groundwater. By that, the whole biological activities will be in rhythm. So this is the message. This has to be translated to the other geologies, geographical areas, depending on, only thing is the methodology to analyze things and prepare the plan is okay. But what type of designs we have to do? Some artificial things we have to do to accelerate the natural processes, to bring back the, since 100 years we have been destroying. Now to bring it back, we need to do it with a little artificially to accelerate the natural process. For that, we need designs and type of structures that are required. Maybe the engineers and geotechnologists can give this.
Thank you very much. Srinivas Reddy.
While preparing the action plans for all these things, we have to take care of the climate change aspects now. Because climate change has given the results of the climate change studies clearly indicates extreme events have been significantly increasing. That means either the excess rainfall or the deficient and break monsoon or the extreme events are increasing. Accordingly, we have to plan to develop all these things.
Thank you very much. Dr. Rao.
Quickly, this methodology to start with is good, but as I said earlier, it requires fine-tuning. And if we are expanding the scope of it, we have to take into consideration several other aspects like rural sanitation, then biodiversity, and also somebody was mentioning, each year some areas will get floods and enormous amount of flood water goes waste. Is there a way, I'm not saying there is a solution, is there a way we can use it partly? One is suggested by somebody else, but other than that, is there a way? Because there is one bulk water available to you. And also, similar methodologies are being adopted by neighboring states and other states, where they are also doing the same thing, they may not be calling the same name. I would like to say you integrate all these things. And finally, if you can write down a good volume, which can be approved by Government of India, and that will be, because somebody was mentioning that Gram Sabha approved, but the Government of Karnataka, some department did not say it's not in the rule book, this methodology. This kind of objections will not come. So once it is approved, Government of India, like, for example, there is a disaster management, flood management manuals of Government of India. They are adopted by all states.
Correct.
Similar manuals can be developed with the help of the technical people like us. And that can be a future. And also, as I said, the scope of water per se, like costing, we have to cost. See, we pay tomatoes 100 rupees kilo at one time, 1 rupee at one time. This is a tremendous variation. Is there a variation? Are we paying like that for water?
Sure.
No. So therefore, we have to think of that.
Thank you. Yeah. Last point.
So 2-3 things we have to keep in our mind. The ecological needs of the water. Where do the birds go? Where do the bees go? If we exploit all the water or if we consume all the water. So we have to apportion that water for off-season for all others also, domestic animals. Another thing is, we don't have water auditing. So just now Mr. Rao was telling, to produce sugar cane, we are wasting about 20,000, 30,000 rupees worth water, where farmer gets a benefit of about only 2,000 rupees. So like that, if you just look at the various things, the sharing and apportioning the water for not only for human beings and also for all others, exclusively for ecological security, is equally important.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, here is a very good suggestion. Dr. Rao is making. Delegates can send suggestions to Art of Living by email or by phone or through SMS. Please feel free. That's a very good suggestion. Sorry? Very good point. Which email? Can anybody suggest which email people should send?
Write it on the board there, no? Write it on the board. coordinator.rrp@projects.artofliving.org.
They are writing. They are writing. It will come on the screen, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just typing. Oh, that's right. It's there in the book. It's there in the book. It's a blue book. Okay. It's there in the blue book. Please stick it up. Yeah, okay. Okay. While they're doing this, I must be really thankful to all the panelists and to the participants, to the organizers. One interesting that happened, I'm not sure how many of you kept this track. We logged in 78 minutes and we harvested 79 points. I'm sure the rapporteurs will look at this. I was quickly writing down the points. Probably when they do this, they will categorize them, they will see the repetitions. But I'm really thankful for all the 79 points that's harvested in 78 minutes. Thank you very much. Thank you, organizers. Thank you, panelists. See you. All the best. Bye.
On behalf of the organizers, I thank Dr. Raju for this excellent conduct of this session. It was so lively. I think probably now you know what is the meaning of the panel discussion. A big hand to him and then the total team. So now I think he has just made a grammar for how the panel discussion session should go. Okay, thank you. So now we'll break for tea and we'll assemble after 15 minutes. For the students, they will be having the participation certificate by email the later part. Thank you. After the tea session, the valedictory session will start.